sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be our visitors taking on our home team. On the visiting sideline, their head coach. His guys 1-0 following the season-opening win last Sunday. His counterpart on the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys, on the other hand, weren't as fortunate in the opener, so they'll look for their first win here at home in week 2. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
That's good for a first down. First and 10 at the 42.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Now he'll tuck this and run. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Off play action. Howard. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Second and 7, operating from the 34.
Brings up second and 7.
Looking to throw. Howard. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's another first down. First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. Sheldon. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a second and 9.
Brings up second and 9.
Back to throw. Howard. Now he's going to step up and run. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 18 on the play.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big...
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. But the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That's good for a first down. A gain of 12. Result is a first down.
Right back to him on first down. Down the right sideline. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great effort there. His his second rushing touchdown on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over it that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Pressure comes and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll run on first down. Marion. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 92 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
At the 35-yard line.
14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
And he lost the football. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6.
A pickup of 2. Brings up 2nd and
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. And not a good time for the sack on 2nd and goal. A loss of 6. And now it's 3rd down. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the ball will go over on the goal line stand. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And 7.
Looking to throw. Howard. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now he's loose down the left sideline. Touchdown! A big play there. 93 yards. And his guys have taken the lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play you would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7.
Visitors 7.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And last time they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do.
That's good. For a 1st down. It's a gain of 20.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Robertson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. They'll keep it on the ground. Marion. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Lyles. He's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They'll send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
2nd and 11. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 2.
On 3rd down, Sheldon. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll be the call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
They bring their punter out there now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. They go play action here on 1st down. And he slings one that's incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Lyles. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Complete to number 3. A gain of 9 brings up 3rd.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Now on now is the punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. There he goes again. And down to the 27-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. So he wanted to pass it, but that thing turned out much better.
And the crowd really responded, didn't they? They always like it better when the quarterback is scrambling around, actually takes off and runs downfield. And that's exactly what he did.
That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 19-yard line.
On the RPO, that's complete right side. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll go with the keeper. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. 1st down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
At the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now a play fake here on first down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's a hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Now Howard, going to throw on 3rd and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Their mobile, agile quarterback. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
An extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Marion. Oh, what a juke into space. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 130 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first down. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Lyles. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Up the middle they go. Marion. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Operating from the gun. Lyles. Touchdown! From 3 yards out. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
Extra point right down the middle. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense has got to be searching for answers right now. It's been his ability to make plays on the ground here in this first half that's really giving him fits. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Howard. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain.
A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and 1.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Back to throw. Howard. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Again, he'll drop to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little past there, call it the 26. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
Yes, and he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it?
It's 2nd and inches.
Operating from the gun, Lyles. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Back to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilkins.
That's good for a first down. A gain of 7. Result is
back to throw again. He finds his man, complete. That's Robertson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
A gain of 9 brings up.
They'll look to throw again. Throwing the out route it's Wilkins. So halftime straight ahead, and that means we go to Scott Hanson. It is our EA Sports Halftime Report. Scott, take it away.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hanson and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. They stay on the ground. This time it's Matthews. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That is caught. He's going to have the first down and more than that. And all the way down to the 41-yard line.
A gain of 29 yards.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down.
Brings up second and a yard at the 32-yard line.
Matthews up the middle. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a second and 1. They run middle with Matthews. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Second and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Out route here, going to Hunt. He's got it. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Second and 3. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
It's their quarterback with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And his guys have made this a one-score game now.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21.
Visitors 21.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Howard now. Off play action. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a first down. Now a handoff up the middle. Sheldon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
1-yard gain. Brings up
2nd and 9 now. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Looking to throw. Howard. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
10 at the 20-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that could spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Under pressure, they got him again. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun, Howard. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown in this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Lyles. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5.
At the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Back to throw. Lyles. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Looking to throw. Lyles. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
A gain of 9 yards. And a first down.
A first down carry for Matthews. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
2nd and 15. Over the middle, complete. It's Hunt. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
He finds his man, complete. That's Robertson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
A gain of 21 yards. Results in a first down.
Back to throw. Lyles. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. And this one is right through. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys are just an extra point away now from taking the lead in this game. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
And this offense on third down today, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. That quick throw there is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Runs through the contact. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Operating from the gun, Lyles. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Lyles. That is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
He's brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Back to throw. Howard. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
For a 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
On 1st down, Sheldon. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play.
2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Looking to throw. Howard. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Back to throw. Howard. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
At the 8-yard line.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And his guys are going to retake the lead.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots and going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
The offense will line up for a 2-point conversion.
They're going to try and run. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Looking to throw. Lyles. That one is caught by Hunt. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Off the play fake. Lyles. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Is a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Off play action. Lyles. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
2nd and 17 at the 30-yard line.
Back to throw. Howard. Going right side here, and that's complete. Here now a 3rd down and 8.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 8.
Looking to throw. Howard. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Just because you got the lead in the fourth, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Operating from the gun, Lyles. And he completes it to Hunt. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
First down. A 4-yard pickup on the play. And a 1st down.
Operating from the gun, Lyles. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. 2nd and 6 coming up.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
He's back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week in practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. Howard from the gun on 3rd down. And he will get to the 1st down marker as he slides to avoid the contact.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for the home team here, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they will fall to 1-1, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.